Howdy, everybody. What's going on, everybody?
Right.
Welcome to Hit the Apex. Here's your I'm gonna be your co-host today. Co-host with the raspy voice over here.
Jazz is playing hurt out here.
Yeah, man. Yep. But hanging in there, getting better day by day. But honestly, my voice goes in and out sometimes, so I rather let Vish kind of take the reins today for sure. But it's exciting. It's the first the start of the 2023 Formula One season. So we're excited about it. Bahrain is the first race coming at you this weekend, and of course we've got. By the way, a shout out to Gus. By the way, did you use? This is an inside joke. I'll tell you later, but appreciate it, Tap. Gus, did you use the bidet? He knows he's gonna know what I'm talking about. Oh man. Anyways, yeah, 2023 season gets underway in a couple days. Vish, are you excited about it? Talk to me, man.
Yeah, it kind of snuck up on us here a little bit. Feels like March. You hit March, and all of a sudden, okay, there's Formula One back. Yeah, I mean, it's always that first race is always where the uncertainty is. You don't know what's going to happen, and then Red Bull wins. It's like, oh, it's going to be another one of those years. So, I guess we should address the non-elephant in the room, which is Moni Lebrano, who is potentially showing up today. I don't think we ever came to a closure on that, but we actually slight show announcement. We're going to be going at 8 p.m. starting next week, and that is because Moni has a new job, which requires a 3 a.m. wake up call. So that's why she might not be joining us tonight as a late in terms of like starting a little bit later tonight, but she should be here most weeks for our 8 p.m. New time. So anyway, get that out of the way. No, we didn't fire her yet.
Not yet, but she keeps pulling these on us.
Keeps doing this. We're gonna have to, have. I almost made probably an inappropriate, not in a gross way, inappropriate in terms of a camaraderie joke about some of the former inhabitants of these parts. And
yeah. Keep it under wraps. Oh man.
All right, so Bahrain, man. So it's kind of interesting because that's where they did the testing. Last week we did our season preview right before they went on testing. So that's probably a good place to start. Maybe we'll look at some of the testing and in particular some of the timing coming out of testing. So Jazz, I don't know if this will surprise you, but actually here, let me go ahead and I am actually just gonna crap. I should have snipped the link. We're rusty here. We didn't have our good practice session, so I'm just gonna show this, which will have the timings for the testing and see if you notice something kind of surprising here. I'm about to do this.
Listen, and by the way, I do want to. I might have to change a prediction to 2. All right, for this weekend. I'm just telling you now. And by the way, Tap, anytime you want to wear a wig and come on this show, bro, you're more than welcome to. All right,
that is A+ content. So
absolutely, man. Hell yeah.
And then Gus did answer the critical question. He did not use the bidet. So
poor guy.
All right, so this is what came out of qualifying simulation. So what they do with these, just to provide a little bit of context, these are based on testing. They do computer extrapolation. This is not the teams. This is like whatever AWS or whoever sponsors it. And they say, well, based on what we see, this is what the qualifying pace would be. This is what the race pace would be. So not surprising out Red Bull fastest, not surprising, Mercedes and Ferrari kind of right behind that. The 4th place team, however,
I'm just telling you, I might have to make some adjustments.
Little eyebrow raising. Jazz, you got some thoughts on this apparently renovated, renewed Aston Martin?
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking a different podium this weekend. Just get ready for that one.
Okay, so you are a believer in this Aston Martin pace.
I don't know, man. You know what scares me? That they're hyping it up a lot, especially during practice. They hyped it up a lot.
Yeah,
it scares me.
The other thing.
The only thing I like about it is that, look, whether we like him or not, whether he's a pain in the ass, yada yada yada. Like, Fernando Alonso is one of the best drivers of all time. It is what it is, and he's over there now, and he's a pain in the ass. And he hasn't driven the way he's always driven. I get that, but he's still a talented driver. I think that could help them. Lance Stroll, we probably not a big fan of his either, but he did have some races where he showed some stuff last year as well. So for as much as we don't like that team, it might be a better lineup than we think.
So a little bit of news on Stroll. He might not race this weekend.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Drogovic, I think, might, right?
Yeah. Stroll is injured. He didn't do the test. He might not race there. Kind of probably get announced that later in the week.
Yeah.
I guess the reason I don't believe this, I don't think Aston Martin is all of a sudden fourth. Fernie obviously does. Is I'm looking at these and I see too many inconsistencies here. Like, I'm in particular, I'm looking at the
race simulation.
the AlphaTauri. How is it that much slower as a race simulation versus a qualifying simulation? Like, is that?
Yeah.
To me, what's
the correlation? Like, how does it make sense?
Yeah, to me, like this data isn't great. Now, again, Aston Martin is fourth in both, so maybe.
I did say the Williams wouldn't end up in last place, right?
Apparently, it's going to qualify last and then launch up the field to eighth.
Exactly. That's all they need to do, baby.
You got Alpine on fifth on race pace, but like near the bottom in quali pace. I don't know. I don't trust any of this. I feel like we're still going to see Alpine and McLaren battling for fourth. I'm not a believer in this Aston Martin stuff unless they cheated again and copied Mercedes' car, which they've done in the past. So I think, and I am curious about. This is probably another news item we should talk about, that there's potentially selling AlphaTauri Red Bull is.
That's the flow Kagapipi, huh? AlphaTauri. Well, yeah, they're about to either get sold or move to London, one or the other.
Well, I think the thing is, there's all those, especially the Andretti group, but there's all those people trying to break into F1, and if it's for sale, that is definitely easier than trying to get spot on the grid. But looking at this, I guess my other kind of question around this is like, is the Red Bull really, because this is a significant. Are we talking about 2/10
simulation, right?
Yeah, these are simulations, but a 2/10. I mean, they were fastest. They look quick. They look stable too, which is a big thing. They got in the most laps, which also makes a big deal because it means your car is reliable. So, I guess.
Or does this mean look? This could mean that, or it could be Mercedes and Ferrari and some of the other ones were holding back. I mean, I find that hard to believe. Also, though, I think that they were all trying to.
I think it feels like the Red Bull is better than everyone right now, which is where we left it last year.
Right.
And one of the things they did to make it more competitive is, they limit car testing, they limit track time, they limit wind tunnel time. That's to reduce cost. The downside to that is when Red Bull jumps up to a big lead last year, it's very hard within the current rules to make up that ground, because you can't, all right, let's design this car, test the hell out of it, tweak it, get it perfect, and catch up. You can't do that. Like an old F1, like 15 years ago, by the third or fourth race, half the field would have copied Red Bull's car,
right?
and that gap would have closed, and you can't do it anymore. So this could just be the next 4 years of this.
Oh, great.
And actually what happened in the previous cycle is Mercedes that had that advantage, and then they actually changed the rules that last year, which is why they basically tied at the end. Was they essentially made the Mercedes car design illegal and they had to redo it, and it allowed Red Bull to catch up for 1 year, and then they had the new rules. So
F1, you gotta love it.
Yep,
you gotta love it.
Anyway, so all right, so that was testing. I guess we should talk about the.
What did she say?
She is not. We are getting we are getting sandbagged, but we do have Moni Lebro's prediction. So
okay, we'll give you those. I'm actually going to start writing them down.
Okay, good, because I never write anything down, then I forget. All right, so let's talk about the Bahrain GP. So I guess we can start with kind of looking at the circuit here, which I am pulling up. And we'll take a look. This is where they tested again, so they should have a pretty good knowledge of it. We're going to talk about tires in a second, because that's actually a pretty interesting discussion. But
yeah, they've added some
they're new tires. They've
new
tweaked
tires.
them. They've used all the data from last year, so they're going to be different tires. And my old buddy who I interviewed, don't forget, I was once time a journalist. According to Formula One, no one else would say that, but they did. Mario Isola, the Pirelli head, said that actually one of the things they've done is potentially made the hard tire usable, because that was like the tire you don't touch last year.
Right. Unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, unless absolutely necessary or something goes wrong.
Unless you're a Ferrari
or
also.
Unless you're, unless you're Ferrari, yeah. So,
yeah.
But we'll get to that in a second. But this is your
so there it is, baby.
Yep.
I like this course. I like this grid.
Yeah, this is
circuit, whatever you call it.
Yeah, this is an interesting circuit. There tends to be good racing here. I think part of it is because of the it's obviously it's the first race, so people are still figuring their cars up. They do screw up strategy more frequently. They make mistakes. Drivers make mistakes. They haven't really driven competitively these cars yet, even though they're versions of last year. So you get that. So you tend to get interesting results. You tend to get more wheel-to-wheel battles here because everyone wants to make a mark in the first race. And frankly, I can hear myself now. Now I can't. Okay, good.
No, you're good. That was my bad. I was just making sure my mic was right.
Get together, man. Get together.
You know,
you got the Ferrari hat on. You don't need to emulate their strategy.
No, when I mute this too many times, it goes off on me. So I was like, let me just,
Yeah, good call, Fernie. It's also a night race, which is cool. But I think drivers are more willing to take risks here because again, they want to prove their point. And frankly, you have 22 races to make it up if you wreck and throw points away. So they're a lot less careful here. So you tend to get more wheel-to-wheel racing and kind of more risk-taking. So it's usually a fun track. There's the 3 DRS zones, big overtaking area into turn 1 because it goes into a little bit of a hairpin. So it's a high speed, that speed trap. That's the fastest point in the circuit, straight into a hairpin. But really all 3, the first 2 DRS zones are really where you see most of the overtaking because they're back-to-back. So if you didn't quite get it done into turn 1, you have another opportunity into turn 4. So that's where you'll likely see the overtaking. The other thing to look for here is reliability.
Yeah.
So first race, cars break. You end up with like a Haas in the top 5 because they're the only one that finished. That type of stuff. So it should be an exciting race.
I think essentially a lot of the top teams are probably still doing a little bit of testing, knowing that they can get away with it because they are going to be the quicker team anyways.
Yeah, they'll mess with setups. They'll mess. You got to do that now because again, there's no other than last weekend, there's no track time for these cars anymore. So they do it in practice sessions. You should see most of the top teams doing different setups on both of their cars in like the first few practices to figure out what's working better.
Yeah.
Usually by qualifying, they've kind of stabilized it. So don't be surprised if the first 2 practices, especially, you see a mixed up grid where like, oh, Max is first and Perez is 8th. And it's because they messed with Perez's setup. And you'll probably see that delta early in these practices when they try to figure out what. And frankly, whatever works better, they end up copying that setup onto the other car. And that's why you get it more clustered in the actual like qualifying and the race.
That makes sense.
So timings, it is an early one for us.
Wait, how many laps? By the way, how many laps is this?
This is 57. Yeah, it's 57.
Okay.
Probably 1 to 2 stops. Again, we're gonna talk about tires in a second. Don't know. They mess with the compounds.
Yeah,
we'll look at that in a second. In terms of schedule, this is an early-ish race. It's in the morning. The first practice is at 6:30 on Friday, but the 10 a.m. is not bad.
That's not bad.
This is kind of in our normal comfort zone there in terms of when most of the races are. Fortunately, to Fernie's point, it's a night race because if it was a day race, this would be right in the middle of the night, which we're gonna get with Australia coming up. So yeah, this is the schedule. Obviously, the first time you'll really know the pace is the 10 a.m. on Saturday. because that's when there's no more screwing around. Because I was like, well, maybe this guy's sandbagging, or they're doing this, or screwing with that setup. That you don't do that in qualifying. So when you see the qualifying, you'll kind of know who's where.
Yep.
So that's kind of the first big one to watch, unless someone's like card keeps breaking down in practice, then that's generally a bad sign. Pivoting a little to tires, we got the C1 to C3, and this is, the big headline here is, it's kind of bad when the headline is that, yes, you can actually use this race car tire in a race. But that's what we got there.
Crazy.
But they have, he talks about a little bit here. They've done a lot of changes to the compound. They've tried to reduce the gap between the hard to make it more viable. And so this will be the first test of that. Because last year it was pretty much unusable in most races, to the point that like it wasn't used. And so they're trying to make all three of the tires work. So it is. And so what he's explaining here is what they did is it is closer to the C2 in terms of compound. So there really isn't, last year's hard doesn't necessarily exist. It's more like medium and then medium hard kind of tire. So it's much closer to that. And they're hoping that'll bring it into usage. So this will be the first test of that as well. And I'm assuming the teams did changes to their car related to the tire compounds as well. Because again, last year we had the whole thing with brand new cars, brand new tires, brand new size of tires. It was all different. Now they've had that off season to adjust the car to work better with the tires.
Yeah, and every car changed their design a little bit. The livery design is a little bit different as well. Even Ferrari, Mercedes, a lot of them. A lot of them also went with less paint on this year already, right off the bat.
Mercedes most notably said that it was weighing their car down.
They went back to black too, and then they just went graphite at the bottom. That's it.
Or
carbon fiber, or whatever it is.
Yeah, one of the interesting things that happened last year was they have all these weight restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everyone smash the like button, or you can just slightly respectfully press it too. That works. All right, smash it. Go full Lance Stroll right into that like button. So they have minimum weights on the cars, and generally speaking, you want the car to be as light as possible. These cars are so heavy just by design; they weren't close to hitting the minimum weights. So there is actually room to, like in the past, the cars were so over-engineered that you need the paint on there to make the weight restriction because otherwise you're too light. Now they're like, oh, we're way over, so anything can take off, including even just paint, saves weight. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of that kind of, let's just call it a streamlined approach to paint because they trying to get weight off the cars. So yeah, you do see the liveries. I guess we should. I'm going to do some live hunting. We should look at the cars.
We showed the helmets. So
we did do the helmets. So go back on the feed from last year to get the. All right, here we go. I do have the cars here. All right, let's do it. From last week, if you want to look at our discussion of the helmets, I think we all agreed Ocon won the helmet war. All right, here's what the cars look like. So this is as Jazz mentioned, the Mercedes went back to black here. But the part you can't really, it's not as visible, but underneath and all, they didn't paint it. They just
after that little greenish aqua line that they have, that's all carbon fiber. Or whatever.
And that was the save weight. So this is the balance they have to do, right? Because sponsors pay money. So if they just make the car plain gray ugly, it's not very marketable. So you just strike that balance. That's why they paint the car in the first place. It's striking. That's why for years, as Force India, they had that pink before it's awesome. They had that just pink because it pops on the screen, and then the sponsors get visibility. So this is why they do it. So if you're wondering, like, why would they possibly paint any of it if it technically degrades performance because you got to get money out of it? The Alpine looks basically the same, right? I don't see much difference. Yeah, more black.
Yeah, they added more black, right?
Yeah, there's definitely more black here.
A lot of teams actually did that. Look at the Haas.
Yeah, the Haas has a lot more black. The McLaren has more black too, I think.
Yep.
That Red Bull.
Red Bull. I think was the Red Bull matte last year as well, like a matte blue.
No, it's more matte now. Yeah, okay, so that's a change. Again, I think that's all weight, right? Because the matte is essentially just the raw carbon fiber.
Pretty much. They
Aston
went a little. The
Martin.
Aston Martin went a little more black as well. You'll notice there,
Yeah,
but the
underneath.
design is actually a little different. In a lot of these cars, the actual design of it is a little different.
Yeah,
You'll notice
one of the big things, and
the side
I
pods
don't
and
think it's really
everything.
noticeable here, but there's gaps in Mercedes wing that
Mhm.
everyone saw at practice, and a lot of teams started copying. So,
Yep, yep. See
um,
what AlphaTauri even went less
was
blue on there.
did they always have the red on their?
No, I think that's new also.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
I can't see what this says, but it looks like they got a sponsor. That might be why. And then they carried it onto the tire.
I think so.
The
Uh,
Ferrari
uh,
is
Ferrari went back to regular their original Ferrari red, from what I understand, and
isn't
they
that
add more black as well.
black as well?
Yep.
Everyone's gone black. In
Look
fact,
at the Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo instead of why it's black. Is black
Yeah,
just like lighter paint or something?
that's what I was thinking. I was like, is that just less paint, the black, or
I guess if
because
you when you bake carbon fiber, what colors that come out black? Is that is actually probably what it is?
yeah, I guess it could
Yeah.
be.
And then the
So they don't
Williams
have to put
also
so they don't have to put as much paint on it because
yeah.
it'll just show black. And the Williams
It's
even added more
Williams
black
is
too.
black too.
The Williams, I think, did copied what Mercedes did on the bottom and just left it, the fiber. That's it. So
Yeah, so it
yeah,
is a lot of black on the grid, which is going to make it good viewing when you can't tell the cars apart.
I think we'll be able to
Yeah,
tell
I think
who's
they're
out of
different enough, but yes. All right, so putting your biases aside on this team, well, which one are you liking?
I actually like Alfa Romeo's
Man,
black and red.
I was going the same way. I think that
Yeah,
looks slick. I like that. I like it better than the white that they had.
yeah, I like that one. Obviously, yeah, the Ferrari's cool because it's got the old school red. And then the Haas looks kind of cool with all black too.
Yeah,
I
I will
kind of
say
like
I
that.
do like the
Mercedes,
Mercedes
yeah, going back to black, I
black
like
better
it.
than the gray one that
I
they've
agree.
been
I
using.
agree. It's just it looks solid as well. So yeah, yeah. The winners, though, I don't know, man. Alfa Romeo has been winning it with. Let me see. Joe's helmet was pretty tight, right? He had
Oh,
a
if we're
pretty
doing like a cumulative rating,
cumulative. I mean, Alfa Romeo might be out in front right now, man. Although all those who's the one with the kick ass helmet for Ferrari? Signs, right? Signs had the
yeah, that's what to say. I mean,
yeah,
your boys might have it here because
yeah.
this car is nice.
If only if they can race as nice as they
and
look, it'll be
and I
nice.
actually feel like this one. I can see if I can find a picture. I'm not going to live Google on the air here, but I feel like it's going to look even cooler from the top because some of the things that's hard to see here is you got this black accent on the exhaust up here, and I
Yeah,
feel like from the top it's going to look black with like the red down the sides. It's going to look really good.
it's gonna look cool. I like it.
And Sides' helmet, like you said, was one of our top contenders there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. We'll
So
see. All right.
there's definitely stuff happening here. Least favorite?
Uh, I mean,
I kind of
probably the Alpine, man.
the
That
Alpine.
Pepto Bismol color kind of throws me off sometimes, but
Yeah, that is the that's actually the same sponsor Force India had when they painted
yeah,
their car pink. I don't even know what BWT is, but um,
I struggle with that one a little bit.
I mean, I'm glad McLaren used to do like orange with blue accents and it looked like Florida Gators colors, so
But
I wasn't having that. You know, I kind of think the Williams is ass. I think it's dark on dark, doesn't look good.
yeah, it looks whatever too.
I don't think they should have gone blue if they were going to do all the black on there. To me, it's just it doesn't pop well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fernie says the McLaren needs more orange. Yeah, well, you know what? Orange puts weight on the car and it's slow enough.
Yeah,
That has to be it, right? There's no way all these teams decided to put black accents all over everything. It's got to be the carbon fiber's natural color,
I think so. I
and
think
that's
so.
why there's black on everything.
Yeah,
Like even the Alpine, like down.
yeah, they added a lot of black.
Yeah, because it's probably just when you bake it, it probably comes out that color. Is this McLaren is sponsored by a Chrome browser?
Like Google Chrome, yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we've fallen off hard.
Look at their wheels. Look at the
I know.
wheels.
I see it all now. It's all happening.
I
Oh
saw it the
boy.
other day and I was like, huh, all right.
Oh boy, falling down bad.
Is that really falling down? Because look at Haas next to it. It looks naked.
I
All
mean,
right.
Haas. I mean, again, I'm an old, but man, McLaren used to be the pinnacle of this sport. Now you got a web browser on here.
maybe once again, soon again, my friend.
We need that Honda money.
Patience, patience. Just put an orange and green U on it or
This is
something.
true. This is true. If they can get some green accents here, we got something going
Then
there.
we got something going,
Yeah.
man, for sure. Oh man, don't let Andretti come in with like an orange and green car. Then you know it's over for us. You know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we still don't
anyways,
know where he's. I actually, I think the way in for him is probably going to be what Fernie talked about, buying AlphaTauri,
yeah,
which I still can't believe Red Bull's even allowed to have on the grid.
I would love for them to do that.
Well, I think someone needs to because it's an unfair advantage that Red Bull has two cars there. They don't share. It's bullshit.
Yep, I agree. I agree. All right, let's move along. Let's
Yep,
move along.
let us do that. All right, so I think as is tradition on our races, man, we kind of go through the little bit of the prediction game. We forgot to get Moni's preseason prediction. We got her race prediction.
Yeah, we did that.
We did get that. She sent that over. Oh, I guess we never talked about the weather. It's going to be hot and dry. So, all right, done. And it is the desert. We already talked about Lance Stroll is not potentially not racing. So yeah, I think we're all set for predictions, Mr. Santana. Who you got this weekend?
Drivers to watch? Are we doing drivers to watch?
Oh yeah, let's do drivers to watch. Let's start with that. Not
All
Lance
right.
Stroll apparently, but
no, we're gonna watch him in the stands. All right, so my drivers to watch, I gotta stick with what I said earlier. We gotta watch I got two drivers to watch. So we'll do Fernando Alonso in his debut in the Aston Martin. And then I was contemplating whether it was going to be Hulkenberg or Piastri in the McLaren, but I don't want to take it away from me, but I'm going to do it anyways. Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. I'd like to see what he does in his debut in a McLaren and in Formula One. I'm excited to see it. I'm sure a lot of people are. Those are my two.
Yeah, I've got one. It's our boy, South Florida's own Logan Sargent. I am looking forward for him to hopefully get the best of Albon because I think that'll greatly improve it. Like Williams is simply a team to use as a stepping stone to get on a team that actually has a that actually has a actually has like a functional car. So this is actually kind of exciting just generally for Williams because it's the first time in a long time they have two competent drivers in there where we can actually see if the driver is good or not.
Yeah,
because it was always whoever was next to Latifi looked good.
Well, we hope they're we hope they're competent drivers.
Well, we'll know something, right? Like Albon has done okay, so we know he's solid. He's solid. He's solid. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a good gauge for Logan Sargent. So that's what I'm looking.
I'd love for him to be competitive and to do some things. That would be great.
Yep. What about your teams, man? Which teams?
I wonder who that's
team or teams.
Yeah, the Reds, of course, but I mean, can look based off of testing, can Aston Martin make a run at a legitimate shot at the midfield? Whether it's fighting for fourth, fighting for fifth, can they actually do it, or is this just a facade? Right? If it was all fake news, what's it gonna be? So definitely Ferrari, and then we'll see what Aston Martin can do.
Yeah, I'm going with Alpine. Because they're two. First of all, it's the French team. They got two French drivers who hate each other. Yeah, and they both have something to prove. Like they both like kind of young-ish. Well,
don't forget the Haas drivers don't like each other either. So that should be interesting.
Okay, going Haas now.
No. I'm just saying. I just thought about that.
Yeah. Well, for me, like Ocon and Gasly have always been at that like almost good enough for the top teams. Gasly actually got a shot at Red Bull and fumbled it, but like they're kind of right on that cusp, and they're in a team that's also on that cusp, they're like a tier below the top, and they hate each other, and they're both kind of at the same stage in their career. It could get a little feisty there. They cannot like be behind the other one.
So. Yeah, if it comes to if it comes down to a race where they're right behind each other, they're gonna fight. It's gonna be a fight. So, And I don't mean it in a physical fight.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna fight though.
I mean,
I don't think there's gonna be what's the word for it? There's not gonna be any
fisticuffs.
no driver, what is it? When they give one the advantage over the other,
Team orders.
team orders. There we
It's
go.
been an off season, and we've had too much Kane stuff going on. This is all
Yeah,
excusable.
yeah. I don't think there'll be team orders there.
Yeah, I don't think so either, and I don't think they would listen. Like, I'm not moving aside for this guy. What are you kidding me?
That too.
So I think that's going to be a fun team to watch.
It is. It is. And the reason I say the Reds, right? The reason I say Ferrari is because look, a new principal, right? A new guy at the helm with Fred Vasseur, and then you've got these two drivers that obviously went head to head a little bit last year. Look, the bottom line is Leclerc is the guy there, but Sainz is still one hell of a driver, and he could win a race or two. So, can they get it together strategy wise? That's going to be the biggest thing, strategy wise, and can they not stability? Can they be stable? Can they not screw up the car? Can the car have reliability? Can the car not have reliability issue? I mean, those are the question marks. It's not really. I don't think it's really the drivers. I think the drivers are talented enough to win. It's a matter of strategy and reliability for me.
Yeah, and talking about how Gasly and Ocon are kind of at the same point in their career, Sainz and Leclerc are not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sainz needs to beat him.
Yeah.
Or get relegated to permanent second driver status. So it could get a little feisty this year, especially like you said, new boss in charge. They got to prove themselves the new boss. Like, if Sainz comes out faster and finishes in front of him a few times, it's not Leclerc's team. The people that brought Leclerc and that structured the team around him aren't there anymore.
Right.
So Sainz does have an opportunity here, and like you said, the car should be good. It's right up there at the top. So, and hopefully with a little bit better strategy this year, that they can compete more. And then it's going to be really important for Sainz, I feel, to get off to a good start, get in front of Leclerc, and kind of maintain that spot. Otherwise, if Leclerc beats him this year, it's kind of like Sainz is permanently stuck in that number 2 driver spot because he's older too than Leclerc, so I don't see any way out of that.
I know they gave him an extension recently, but they could be looking for fresh young blood there soon again in the next couple of years.
I think he's good. I think he'll be there.
He's good enough to be there.
He's definitely good enough to be there. He's a good teammate, but there's a difference between potentially being the Hamilton or being the Bottas. He's going to be the Bottas if he doesn't actually start beating Leclerc. So, which top teams love that driver. Like, that's why I don't think he'll go anywhere. He's the smooth operator, right? He's going to get your car to the finish. He'll maximize the points. He's not going to blow your socks off, so he won't piss off the number 1 driver.
Right.
But he'll finish. He'll maximize your points. He'll help you in the constructors. He'll be the good teammate. Sainz is capable of doing all that, but Sainz also wants to be at the top.
Yeah.
And Leclerc is not Lewis Hamilton. So he should be able to beat him. But if he doesn't, if you go multiple years finishing behind your teammate and you're older, that is a number 2 driver. That is Daniel Ricciardo land.
Yep. Daniel Ricciardo, do we see him at all this year? What do you think?
No, he's gonna. Well, unless you go to the Red Bull hospitality area, he'll be there.
Oh, okay.
He'll be there, like shotgunning Fosters or something.
Exactly. Who he's the reserve driver for?
Yes, yeah, he is just and.
I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking Mercedes, but you're right.
He was rumored to be looked at by Mercedes. He was rumored for several teams. Mercedes was like the hot rumor for some time. I seriously think he went to Red Bull because it's got the better parties. I'm not even joking. Mercedes is a much more serious team. This man doesn't give a crap. And also, you saw what happened to De Vries last year. Like, you might have to actually drive. Mercedes has a lot of people on the grid. He doesn't want to actually have to get in a car here.
Oh, shit.
He's not going to have to, drive the Red Bull. He's not going to.
If he was at Mercedes, he might have had to drive.
Well, he might not drive the Mercedes, but you might end up.
Yeah,
you might end up in the Williams. You might end up in the Aston Martin. Actually, this weekend, if he was a Mercedes driver right now, maybe it would have been him instead of Drukovich, right? So he doesn't actually want to drive. He just wants to party. He's not trying to stay in shape over there.
Nah.
So Red Bull's is known to have the best hospitality at these races, and he gets to just travel around the world, do the whole F1 party stuff without actually doing work.
Evan in the house.
Look at this. Look at our guy.
What's up, big dog? What's up? All right. So what else? What do we got now?
We did teams. We did drivers. We got to do predictions. We got predictions from several of our. If you guys want to throw your top 3 and your surprise into the chat. Fernie, I think, did he give us his? Here we go. So Fernie's got Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, and then his surprise, he went bold here. Alonso top 5 and 2 rookies in the top 10.
Top 5 rookies.
And then Gus has Max, Hamilton, Sainz, and then just randomly Oscar Pistachio somewhere.
Oscar Pistachio. I guess in the points, I'll just say. I actually wrote pistachio. I'm crazy. And I spelled points wrong. Jeez Louise.
It's one of those.
Cut me some slack here.
Nothing's up with Gary that I know about.
I don't know.
OD'd on spicy nuggets? I don't know.
I don't know, man. All right. You want my predictions first?
Oh wait, hold on. We got Evan got him in here. I'm assuming that's Checo and not Chico.
That's Chico, dog. I love Chico.
Carlos, this is what happens when you have too many margs on tap, man.
Max, Checo, and
Carlos
Sainz. All right, whatever.
So Gary, I actually talked to Gary. He's fine. I don't pay that much attention to who's on what shows in the chat. He actually was. He showed up briefly. Oh, you weren't there, but he showed up briefly on Arcade Show on one day. So he was in the chat there.
He is a Chico though. Yeah, he
is a Chico.
You're right.
So I don't. Gary, I think just shows up to the F1 show because of us. I don't think he necessarily watches F1, but so he might not be dipping into this show.
That's what I love about Gary. He doesn't care.
But yeah, no, he's been on Arcane's in the chat on Arcane show. Actually, on Monday he was there.
All right, so listen. This
okay. Before we do yours, should we read out Moni's for the record? Do you want to go Moni before yours or
my
after?
bad? Yeah, that's fine. We got Checo, Leclerc, and Hamilton.
Yeah, she went full bias.
Yeah, she did.
She put her boy at top, and then her surprise is Verstappen DNF.
Yeah. So, all right, not bad.
I'm good with the Verstappen DNF. All right, Mr. Santana, the floor is yours.
So here's my my thought process behind the whole thing, right? Did a little bit of research, found out a few things about Bahrain, found out a few things about, first race of the season, yada, yada, yada. And typically, like I don't know if it was the last 10 races in Bahrain or the last 10 first races of the season, person who wins this race typically ends up second in the constructors or the drivers championship or lower. Okay, they never win the actual drivers championship. Look, last year Leclerc won, right? He ended up in second. I think the year before that Hamilton won. He ended up in second. You've got a couple years that Bottas won, Sebastian Vettel won, and they end up in second. So because of that, all right, I'm gonna go with the winner to be Max, okay, and then P2, so it have to be Leclerc, okay, and then in P3, I'm gonna go with, do I do it? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Fernando Alonso in P3, and then my is that a surprise enough for you?
Or? I mean, I think you're probably covered there. I knew it was coming the whole show when we pulled out the testing. I was like, been waiting for that for like 45 minutes now. Your love of Spain and your overreaction to testing combining to put Fernando Alonso's ass on the podium.
No, I just want to do it just to mess things up a little bit. My surprise is gonna be.
I mean that you can go with that if you want. If you want to come.
No, let's double down. Let's double down on the surprise, and let's go with. Let's go with Sargent in the top 10.
Oh. Well, you've gone full homer. Spaniard in the top 3, Sargent in the top 10.
Let's do it. What the hell? What the hell? We'll start off the first race with a bang. What do you got, Fish?
All right, so I'm going with wacky race here because I feel like the first race is where you get the reliability, get the issues.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking someone's just gonna we got let's get Gus in here. Got Max winning it all again. I agree. Keep an eye on Checo, Botox, pistache.
You're crazy.
I think he did all that just to get that Botox joke in there.
I think so. Good job.
No, wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
Pretty good. I like it.
All right, so I'm going Hamilton first.
I think he thought about it all day. Was waiting for the show for sure.
Yeah, no, for the Botox. Oh yeah.
You got Ham winning it all?
Yeah. Well, I picked him. I went out on a limb and picked him. Him to win the championship. So he's got to win this race.
Let's do it, baby.
So I got him winning. Like I said, I'm going crazy race. So Sainz second.
Okay.
Checo third.
Okay.
Max will finish like in 5th, complaining on the radio because who built this piece of crap? Blah, blah. But that's not my surprise. My surprise is what's his name? Drakovic not only races, he finishes ahead of Alonso.
Dragovic ahead of Alonso. Damn. All right. Ahead of Alonso. Okay. I like it. That's a good one too. I like that. I have Alonso finishing in 3rd. So
watch. We're gonna end the show within 10 minutes. Lance Stroll will race.
Of course. How many times has crap like that happened to us already?
But that's all right. That's all right. I'm still going with it. It'll be my least wrong prediction. I consider breaking out some of the classics like Russell DNF, but I want to save those for midseason.
Yeah.
So I was lean.
We're starting. We're starting the year with a bang. Both of us. I like it.
I have my go-to moves.
I like it.
So I got my Russell DNF in the back pocket for later. So
man, poor McLaren. Not a name in sight.
I mean, it is pretty remarkable that like I'm on this show and we spent like less than 5 seconds talking about McLaren.
I know.
That team's doing bad, man. It's doing bad.
They'll be all right. Lando's a good driver. Pistachio. Obviously he's got the hype, so he's gonna have to prove it. But if he does,
yeah, Moni was max DNF.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
All right, man.
Nice.
It's go time.
Yeah, keep it locked because we'll have some stuff on Twitter. For I don't know about practice, but definitely qualifying.
We'll do. There'll be stuff floating around, and we'll be back next week.
Sure.
Also, Kane show on Monday. We'll see which new coaches we have again. Between now and then, we'll see who gets fired or quits. And then we'll speculate on that on Monday. Exactly. Also, Kane's Hoops can win the ACC on Saturday by winning.
Yes, they don't have.
We don't want to talk about the past. We're going to talk about the future.
Choke job. You know what the problem was, everybody, right? That Vish went to the game. Vish doesn't go to the game.
I should be applauded for my professionalism because you are not allowed to react in the media section. And man, I held it together.
I know.
I held it together. I did not react to any of that complete meltdown followed by buzzer beater against Florida State of all teams.
Man.
But it's all in the past now. The Canes win on Saturday. They win the ACC, which is only the second time they've ever done that. I did make a promise on my midweek show today as well as on Monday's show. If the Canes win, we'll spin up a quick live stream afterwards and do a little celebratory for winning the ACC.
Right.
And so Jazz, if you're able, I know you're playing hurt.
If I'm able, I'll do it, man. Saturday I'll be good.
Yeah, so probably around 8 p.m.-ish, we should be finishing off Pitt and claiming that title. I'm confident. Confidence is high.
Should be, and the boys go up to Gainesville to play a 3-game series against the Gators too, Canes baseball. So
yeah, there's so much stuff going on. Spring practice starts on Saturday. With the full coaching staff, we think Jason Taylor is the last piece. Kevin Beard is kind of official now, but we think Jason Taylor is the last piece there. The women
I'm excited about Kevin Beard.
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
Women are playing the ACC tournament starting tomorrow. They have to win a game.
You got the women. You've got the men's basketball. You've got baseball taking on the Gators. You've got spring football starting, and then you've got Formula One. The season starts.
Yeah,
well.
yeah. my 10-minute midweek thing I started doing on the Canes went 30 minutes today because there's so much crap going on.
Of course, of course, that doesn't surprise
Yeah, yeah. Look, man, you can make a comment on my rambling. Like we've been trying to end the show for 5 minutes. I'm still going,
that's all right.
but no, there's actually that much stuff going on. So Cane women need to win tomorrow. Otherwise they're effed. But if they win that, they should make the tournament.
Good.
By the way, shout out to Katie Meyer. My niece went and met her. My niece choked.
Oh, no.
She chickened out. I have a lot of pictures of a very scared niece sitting on Katie Meyer's lap.
You mean the one we were strolling along around the pool?
Yeah, I mean the older of the two. Yes.
Oh boy, I can't believe she chickened out, bro.
Well, we go in there and Coach asked her what her name is, and she says it, and I was like, oh, maybe she's not going to chicken out. Then we tried to get her to sit for a picture. I mean, I got the picture. She sat for the picture, but
yeah,
she was trying to get out of there. Anyway.
Oh boy. All right, keep it locked.
Anyway, but it was good times on Sunday there. I had a good weekend at the U, other than a minor blip on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I know.
Things kind of went wrong there.
If I would have been there next year, then
I'd be sick too. All right, so
that's correct. Exactly. See, I did it for you, bro.
Yeah, I know. Jazz took one for the team there and missed out on a sweep of Dartmouth.
Oh man, I was excited to go too, and I was like, blah. I ended up just fixing my truck since I can do that socially distanced from everybody. Anyways. Oh, and Elite Prospect Day. Yes, I know we're talking about Hurricanes football here in Formula One, but it is what it is, man.
There's an overlapping audience.
Yeah, it's fine. You're right.
Anyway, so Saturday night we should have a party at 8 right here. So come join us. We will celebrate an ACC championship. I am confident.
Yes, you got it.
And then next week we'll be back. We'll recap this race. This is the first time where we can really make stuff up on our predictions, because after this weekend we'll kind of know which cars are actually good. So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll be back next week. Again, new time, 8 p.m. Mrs. Labeler will be here, she says.
We think.
All right.
See you guys.
Check out next week.